So what is this part of the bone called? Spinous process, right?
Yeah.
And what rests in here? What rests in here?
The jelly stuff.
The jelly donut? What is
Jelly
that called?
stuff.
The
Particularly disc.
intervertebral disc, right? And what are these? What's this red thing here? Arteries. And what's the blue or purple thing? A vein, right? What space is this here? I'll give you a choice. Is it
Subarachnoid.
epidural or subarachnoid space?
Epidural.
Epidural.
Oh.
So when they do epidural steroids, they put the needle in here. They put the needle in here and they deposit the steroids. Or if they do epidural anesthesia, they put it in here. You notice all the blood vessels and fat? This helps prevent screaming during childbirth, which I hate when that happens. Screaming during childbirth, it's very rough. Did you know that there are racial differences in the amount of screaming during childbirth? Spanish women are very expressive. Black women will curse their husbands and say it's all your fault. Oriental women don't make a sound. I'm making all of this up, of course, but it sounds good. What space is this? Is it the epidural space or the subarachnoid space?
Subarachnoid.
Subarachnoid. And what's it filled with?
CSF?
Subarachnoid space is filled with CSF. And what can you tell from checking the CSF? What can you tell about what medical conditions can you tell? Meningitis. And what would you see if someone had meningitis? What would you see if you looked at the cerebrospinal fluid? What's that?
Is there presence of pus?
Pus, yeah, bacteria. What about the pressure? Would the pressure be elevated?
Yes.
What if they had hydrocephalus? Would the pressure be elevated?
Yeah.
They had water on the brain? Yes. What if they had blood in the cerebrospinal fluid? What would you think of that?
Could be a bad spinal tap.
Could be a bad spinal tap, right? Could also be subarachnoid hemorrhaging.
Couldn't it be a cranial fracture?
So what do you think? Do you know what the question is? I don't either. Yes. Okay. Are these the gray horns or the white horns? Are there white horns?
No.
No, it's white columns, right? And are these the posterior columns or anterior columns? No, that's right.
No, okay.
That's right. Yeah, fake question, sorry. What is this line down the center of anterior median fissure? And what's this line in the back?
Posterior median fissure. Oh, sulcus.
Posterior median sulcus. And what's this stuff here? What space is that? With the blood vessels, and what's the yellow stuff? That's the epidural space. It goes all the way around. And what space is in here? Subarachnoid space. What's this swelling in here? What's swollen in here?
Ganglion.
Grace? What's swollen in here? What kind of ganglion?
Dorsal.
Dorsal root ganglion. Where does shingles virus hide? Dorsal root ganglion. Yeah. Is this the ventral root or the dorsal root?
Ventral.
Ventral root. What are these little fork-like things? What are they called? Rootlets. Rootlets. Did you say rootlets?
Yeah,
Huh?
kind of.
Did you get it? Was it a guess or you knew it?
I said roots.
You said roots. Okay. Okay. What is this here? Is it a spinal nerve?
Yes.
And what's the foramen that the spinal nerve comes out? What is that foramen called? Intervertebral foramen, right.
Yes.
And what is these chains on the side here?
Sympathetic chain ganglion.
Sympathetic chain ganglion. I think we beat that one to death. Let's go to the next.